tó fi ń bà. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n ti dé ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn aṣojú ọba màmá wa tí wọ́n ń bójútó ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè tó wà nílẹ̀ òkèèrè. Gómìnà ń kí yín, bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni wọ́n ń kí àwọn aṣojú pátápátá tó wà ń gbé. Alága ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú APC gómìnà ń kí yín, àwọn ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin, akọ̀wé ìjọba, olùgbaninímọ̀ràn lórí ọ̀tọ̀ ilégbèé, gómìnà ń kí gbogbo yín pátápátá ni gómìnà ń kí pé ẹ kú ìkàlẹ̀, ẹ kú ìfọmọnìyàn ṣe àsìkò dédé àsìkò yìí, torí gbogbo aláwọ̀ wípé iṣẹ́ ìlú àjùmọ̀ṣe ni.
Mr. Governor, the single take the national anthem. So now take the national anthem. Mr. Governor, the man who has moved Lagos to another level, Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Ajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, distinguished members of the National Assembly here present, the Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Dr. Bafemi Hamzat, Speaker of Lagos State House of Assembly here present, and other members of the House of Assembly, particularly the House Committee Chairman on Housing, Honorable Rashid Makinde, members of the State Executive Council here present, most especially the Secretary to the State Government, and of course the Honorable Commissioner for Housing, Mr. Maruf Akijeru Fatai, and the Special Advisor to the Governor on Housing, Mrs. Tuke Benson, Chairman of a Statutory Commission here present, members of the body of Permanent Secretary here present, particularly the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Housing, Mr. Wasiu Akeushola, Chairman of Local Government, Local Council Development area here present, General Manager of Agencies, Chief Executive Officers of Government Parastatals here present, particularly the General Manager, CEO, Lagos State Development and Property Corporation, Honorable Ayodeji Joseph, our royal fathers here present and all the traditional chiefs here present, the Chairman, All Progressive Congress, and all the party chieftains here present, members of the Governor's Advisory Council here present, our religious leaders here present, Managing Director of Parastatals and Agencies, CDCs, CDAs leaders here present, the Iyaloja men and women of the Market Men and Women Association here present, other top government functionaries, distinguished guests, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, I want to formally welcome you to the commissioning of the Lagos homes at Ibeshe. This is a remarkable event of note that the state government has over the years made giant strides towards increasing the stock of decent homes in Lagos State. And these has not only reduced the housing deficit in the state, but also provide conducive environment for family and communal living in all parts of the state. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, today is another remarkable achievement, and it is a pleasure to be here. Today, not only Lagos, not only Lagosians, but Nigerians are celebrating another giant stride by the Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu-led administration in accordance with the theme's agenda. Without wasting your time, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite to the microphone the Honorable Commissioner for Housing to give his welcome. Please welcome Honorable Moruf Akijeru Fatai, FRS.
Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, the Deputy Governor, Dr. Obafemi Kadri Amsat, I would like to stand on the protocol as earlier established by the MC due to lack of time. It is indeed a great privilege and honor to welcome our guests to this August occasion, marking the commissioning of our state-owned housing scheme, Ibeshe, in Ikorodu division. My gratitude goes to the Almighty for bringing us to a day like this, when dreams and expectations become real. My note of appreciation also goes to the Housing Governor of the Year, our hard-working governor, for the great leadership offered to the sector. His passion and commitment to housing development in the state is noteworthy. I salute his determination in ensuring that the mandate is fulfilled in all ways. I want us to note that we are here to commission this project because Mr. Governor never gave up on his resolution to increase the housing stock in the state in spite of all odds. No doubt, this is a ceremony that shows beyond all doubt the readiness of the present administration to drive with great vigor and all-round development of the state. For instance, in the housing sector, within the last 2 years, the able leadership of Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, and the Deputy Governor, Dr. Obafemi Amsat, have provided all needed support and directions, without which we will not be here today. These are to ensure that the housing deficit in the state is reduced and that decent homes are made available to all categories of residents. I must emphasize that the essence of all the activities in the sector is to strengthen the boot sector so that positive impact are seen in the lives of all the citizens. With more decent homes, the family ecosystem is better preserved, living standards are improved, and the beauty of the environment is enhanced. May I also recall that recently the governor was at Lekki to commission the Bayview Estate, a housing scheme which was constructed through joint venture partnership with private developers. The fact that he is here again today to increase the housing, to release the good to the good people of Lagos, another housing scheme, while conducting the commencement of another scheme, is a signal that development of the state of excellence is a continuous work. It is important to note that this estate, which is constructed through budgetary allocation, is located close to the shoreline, thereby making it a choice residential scheme. With 480 new homes of various categories in this neighborhood, the socio-economic indices of the area are bound to improve. It is worthy to mention that housing development comes under the pillar of making Lagos a 21st century economy in the team's agenda. Based on this policy thrust, the state government has been working on the completion of all the housing schemes initiated but left unfinished by previous administrations in the state. Private sector involvement in housing development is also being encouraged to the extent that many serious investors are now collaborating with the state government. This has resulted in all the visible evidence of progress. may I see this opportunity to thank the management and staff of LSDPC for a job well done on this scheme, not forgetting the worthy contribution of the SYMD CEO, Architect Dikulai Arisu. I know that with the expertise and experience deployed on the scheme, the allottees of this estate are assured of the safety and durability. In closing, I want to enjoin us all to continue to cooperate with the state government. The transformation agenda is achieving so much for us all in all aspects of our lives. The dream of a greater Lagos is unfolding daily. With what we see today, I'm bold to say things can only get brighter and better. With your support, Mr. Governor's direction to meet upon his promises will definitely be met. I welcome all of us and wish us all a great time at this event. Ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó.
Ẹ bá wa fún wọn ní àtẹ́wọ́ tó rinlẹ̀. Lédè kúkúrú, wọ́n ṣe é lálàyé pé inú àwọn dùn wípé ọjọ́ òní ó ṣojú gbogbo wa. Wọ́n wá dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run àdániwáyé pé tó mú kí èyí ṣeé ṣe. Ní pàtàkì, wọ́n dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gómìnà. Wọ́n nítorí pé ọ̀tọ̀ ni ká sọ̀rọ̀, ọ̀tọ̀ ni ká ṣe é. Wọ́n ní ó yẹ ká rí fúnra wa báyìí pé gómìnà tó ń gbé tó sì ń ṣe tí wọ́n bá sọ ni. Pé nípa ìsapá gómìnà àti akitiyan wọn, òun ló mú kí ẹ̀ka ilégbèé kí wọ́n lè ṣe ètò ilé tá à ń rí yìí. Wọ́n ní tá a bá gbàgbé níbi èlò kan sẹ́yìn, gómìnà ṣe ìfilọ́lẹ̀ ilégbèé ní bébí òní Lẹ́kí kí aráàlú kán lè máa gbé ní ilé tó yẹ ọmọnìyàn kó má jẹ̀jẹ́ ilé kan ṣá. Wọ́n ní lẹ́yìn èyí ni wọ́n tún wá síbí láti wá ṣe eléyìí. Wọ́n wá ní ètò yìí ni àwọn ń ṣe pẹ̀lú àjọṣepọ̀ àwọn ẹ̀ka tó jẹ́ ti àdáni. Irú eléyìí pẹ̀lú LSDPC ni àwọn jọ ṣe àtìlẹ́yìn láti gbé kalẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n èyí ò bá má ṣe é ṣe tí kò bá sí ìsapá gómìnà. Wọ́n ní èyí fi hàn wípé òpó tí ìjọba yìí gbé kalẹ̀ tó jẹ́ 6 àlàálẹ̀ ìjọba tí ilégbèé jẹ́ ọ̀kan nínú ẹ̀ ó jẹ́ ohun tí wọ́n ń ṣiṣẹ́ lé lórí. Wọ́n wá níbi tọ́rọ̀ dé yìí, àwọn dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ LSDPC. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni wọ́n dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ọ̀gá àgbà tẹ́lẹ̀ ayàwòrán lé Dukurelai Yusuf tí wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ takuntakun. Ní pàtàkì, wọ́n ní gbogbo aráàlú, wọ́n ní bí ìgbà ẹ̀kẹ́ bọ́dé ìgbà aláàmù tó ń fọwọ́ ti ògiri. Wọ́n ní ká fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú gómìnà kí wọ́n lè mú gbogbo ìlérí èyí tí wọ́n ṣe lásìkò ìpolongo òbò kí wọ́n mú ṣẹ. Wọ́n náà ṣáà ti ń rí fúnra wa báyìí torí ọbẹ̀ tí ò bá lóko ojú báyìí la máa ti mọ̀. Èyí tí ò bá sì níyọ̀ ó dìgbà tá a bá tọrọ. Ṣùgbọ́n àtìrélé yìí á ti títọrọ àti ìbò ṣeré. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí wọ́n sọ gbogbo aráàlú wọ́n ní ẹ kú dédé àsìkò yìí. Wọ́n sì ní ká fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú gómìnà. Wọ́n wá kí gbogbo wa káàbọ̀ síbi ìfilọ́lẹ̀ tòní.
Thank you very much, Adewale. That was the welcome address by the Honorable Commissioner Housing, Honorable Maruf Akidero Fatai. At this point in time, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite the Managing Director and CEO of LSDPC to give us a brief on the project. Please, Honorable Ayodeji Joseph.
Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, His Able Deputy, Dr. Obafemi Hamzat, Chairman House Committee on Housing, Honorable Rashid Makinde, members of the National Assembly here present. Please let me retain the existing protocol. The Lagos State Government, under the leadership of Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, is taking giant strides towards increasing the stock of decent houses in the state. This is not only to reduce the housing deficit in the state, but also to provide a conducive environment for families and communal living in all parts of the state. The state government stance in this regard is in consonance with the mandate of the present administration and in line with the team's agenda under the pillar of making Lagos State a 21st economy. The Lagoshoms Ibeshe scheme
The Lagoshoms Ibeshe scheme, a recent addition, is another loud testimony to the commitment of this progressive administration towards the continuous delivery of decent houses to the citizens of the state. The scheme, which is a product of the Ministry of Housing, was supervised by the Lagos State Development and Property Corporation. The teamwork has resulted in an architectural showpiece of modern homes delivered in a beautiful, serene, and well-planned environment. The scheme is situated opposite Nikemtech Factory, Ibeshe, Igbogobayeku LCD, on an area of 15 hectares. It consists of 40 blocks, 480 units of 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments. The units come with fully fitted kitchen, store, and a guest toilet. The estate has ample car parks, water treatment plants, overhead water tanks, borehole, pump house, central sewage system, 7 test transformers, 1 injection station, and 2 refuse houses. Other ancillary buildings include generator house and community hall. With the ongoing infrastructural upgrade of the area, Lagoshoms Ibeshe jewel of recent estate development in the environment, providing beautiful and classy homes for the people. We are proud to once again deliver another scheme under the Lagos Homes series, having earlier completed and handed over in conjunction with the Ministry of Housing 5 others, namely Anthony Enaro Housing Ogba, Lagos Homes Shita, Lagos Homes Okoba, Lagos Homes Akerele Rando Sorulere, Lagos Homes Amuwo Dofin. We want to specially recall the effort of Mr. Governor in resuscitating some of the above schemes and others that had challenges before his arrival at the corporation as the Managing Director CEO way back in 2016. We are proud of the legacy he left behind, and we shall always continue to build on it. Once again, Mr. Governor, I say we are proud of you. Mr. Governor, distinguished guests, may I conclude by conveying the gratitude of the management and staff of LSDPC to the state government for its belief in the corporation and subsequent opportunities to serve the government and the people of our dear Lagos State. Thank you very much. Ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, àjùmọ̀ṣe ni.
Ẹ bá wa fún ọ ní àtẹ́wọ́ tó rinlẹ̀. Ní èdè kúkúrú, wọ́n ṣàlàyé wọ́n ní adúpẹ́ gan lọ́wọ́ gómìnà Babájídé Sanwó-Olú fún àtìlẹ́yìn ńlá èyí tí wọ́n ṣe láti jẹ́ kí ilégbèé yìí kó di ohun tí à ń wò yìí. Wọ́n ní tá a bá wò dáadáa, a rí i pé ilégbèé tó buyì kọ́mọnìyàn òun ni ilégbèé yìí. Wọ́n wá ní ẹ̀ka ilégbèé ti ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ yìí, àwọn ni wọ́n ṣètò yìí pẹ̀lú àtìlẹ́yìn LSDPC. Àwọn ìbéèrè tí a wá lè béèrè rèé tí wọ́n ti ṣàlàyé. Wọ́n náà wọlé tá à ń wò yìí tẹ́ bá kà á lẹ́yọ kọ̀ọ̀kan. Búlọ̀kù 40 ni ẹ̀ ń wò yìí. Wọ́n ní ojúlé tó tó 400 ó lé 1000, 400 ó lé 100. Wọ́n wá ní àwọn yàrá tó jẹ́ ẹlẹ́kan, ó ní 2, ó ní 3. Ìyẹn ni pé bọ́wọ́ ikú bá ṣe mọ ló ṣe máa fi bọ́jú. Àǹfààní wà fún gbogbo èèyàn pátápátá láti nílé ń bí. Wọ́n yàtọ̀ sí yẹn ẹ máa gbọ́. Wọ́n náà wọlé tá à ń wò yìí gbogbo ẹ̀ ló ní ọyẹ́ tó ń kú rírì. Wọ́n ní yàtọ̀ sí yẹn ó ní ibi tá a lè gba àlejò. Àlejò bá tó wá dé tó fẹ́ tura ó níbi tó lè lò sí. Wọ́n yàtọ̀ sí yẹn wọ́n ná láyè ìgbọ́kọ̀sí sódìgbà tó bá ti ẹ̀sọ̀ yẹn fún wa ẹ̀yin náà ẹ wò ó. Wọ́n wá tún ní yàtọ̀ sí yẹn ó tún ní ẹ̀rọ amúnáwá àìbámọ̀ tí iná bá lọ kò gbúdọ̀ ṣẹ́jú iná tún máa wà ńbẹ̀. Wọ́n ní bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni gbogbo àwọn ohun amáyédẹrùn tó yẹ ọmọnìyàn níbi tó èèyàn máa gbé. Wọ́n ní látàrí èyí ẹjẹ́ á fún gómìnà wa lọ àtẹ́wọ́ tó rinlẹ̀. Òun là ń fúnra wa yìí, òun là ń rí yìí. wọ́n wá ní gbogbo ìgbà àtìgbà gbogbo ní gómìnà máa ń ṣe àtìlẹ́yìn láti jẹ́ kí àwọn tí à ń sọ yìí kó ṣeé ṣe. Wọ́n wá dúpẹ́ gan lọ́wọ́ gbogbo àwa tá a wà bí lónìí pé àpéjúpésẹ̀ síbí èyí jẹ́ díẹ̀ nínú ìtàn ẹ̀rí yìí nígbà tí a bá ṣe ìfilọ́lẹ̀ tá a bá tún wọlé àátúrí àwọn nǹkan míì tó jẹ́ wèé tó yẹ ẹ̀dá tó yẹ ọmọnìyàn níbi tó yẹ ká máa gbé. Wọ́n wá níṣẹ́ ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó àjùmọ̀ṣe ni wọ́n kí wa káàbọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí.
Thank you very much, Adewale. It is of note to inform all here that this Lagos Homes, especially this project, is a project of the Lagos State Ministry of Housing with the supervision of LSDPC. And it has, in its own way, ensured that most of the Lagosians have somewhere or a shelter over their heads, affordable, and of course the environment is top-notch. This is one more feather to the cap of Mr. Governor. Can we put our hands together for him for this laudable project? Your distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this point in time, we'll take our goodwill messages. And to give the first goodwill message, I'd like to call on a town planner, someone who has been working tirelessly in the Lagos State House of Assembly to ensure the policies are put together to make life better, especially when it comes to the housing sector. Please welcome the Chairman, House Committee on Housing, Lagos State House of Assembly, Honorable Town Planner Rashid Makinde.
Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Olusola, the Deputy Governor, Dr. Kadri Hamzat, the Right Honorable Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly that I'm standing in for, the SSG of the Lagos State, the member of the Federal House of Representatives present here, Honorable Babajide Ibeshe, the party chairman, other party leaders present here, the Honorable Commissioner and Special Advisor of the Ministry of Housing, and other commissioners and SA present here, the Body of Permanent Secretary, especially the PS of Ministry of Housing, the MD of the LSVC, the Royal Fathers present here, the distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the fourth estate of the realm. Today, history is being made again as we are here in Ibeshe community, Ikorodu, to commission yet another smart housing project. It is important to note that the completion and the official commissioning of Lagoshoms Ibeshe Estate in Ikorodu today has conveniently taken advantage of the adjoining infrastructures, and it has shown as a testimony of Mr. Governor's resolve to deliver on his campaign promises to complete and deliver all critical projects across the state. It is worthy to mention here that the government has taken over all moribund and abandoned housing schemes across the state for its completion, and with the completion of this estate, the government of His Excellency Mr. Babajide Olusola has made justification to government resources and urged the residents to put into good use these beautiful houses and its facility for the benefit of Lagosians. I want to assure you that Lagos State House of Assembly, under the able leadership of Right Honorable Dr. Mudashiru Ajayi Obasa, will continue to promote urban harmony and set new standards for property development through robust and efficient laws and resolutions that are aimed to address housing deficit in which people become homeowners through an inclusive and convenient financing system based on their income. Once again, I commend the foresight of this administration to have adopted this housing model that
harness and maximize the limited spaces for the delivery of safe and decent homes for greater population of Lagosians. God bless Lagos State. God bless Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the progenitor of Smart City Lagos. The Right Honourable Speaker, Dr. Mudashiru Ajayabasa, asked me to tell all the members of Ikorodu and the people that are present here that Ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó àjùmọ̀ṣe gbogbo wa ni o. Thank you very much.
Ẹ bá wa fún ọ ní àtẹ́wọ́ tó rinlẹ̀. Ní èdè kúkúrú ní Gọ́nọ́ńṣó, wọ́n ní àṣeyọrí míì látúnṣe yìí. Wípé ilégbèé ó fìdí múlẹ̀ sílùú Ìbèṣè ní Ìkòròdú dé. Wọ́n ní èyí fi hàn pé gbogbo ìlérí gómìnà pátápátá nígbà ìpolongo òbò ni wọ́n mú ṣẹ. Wọ́n wá sọ nǹkankan. Wọ́n ní yàtọ̀ sí mímú ìlérí ṣẹ, gómìnà jẹ́ aláṣepọ̀rí àti aláṣeparí. Àwọn iṣẹ́ tó wà nílẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ tí a pa títà àti ìparí, gómìnà parí rẹ̀. Èyí tí wọ́n tún dáwọ́lé, wọ́n tún parí ẹ̀. Ẹ bá fún gómìnà látẹ̀wọ́. Wọ́n ní èyí làwọn wá wò gẹ́gẹ́ bí ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin ìpínlẹ̀ yìí pé irú gómìnà kí ẹ̀ka amúṣẹ́ṣe ìjùmọ̀ṣepọ̀ tó dánmọ́rán gbúdọ̀ wà. Látàrí èyí, wọ́n ní àárín ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin àti ẹ̀ka amúṣẹ́ṣe ó dánmọ́rán fún ìtẹ̀síwájú ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó. Wọ́n ní lábẹ́ bó ti wù kó rí, ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó lábẹ́ ìdarí agbẹnusọ Honourable ẹni àpọ́nlé Mudashiru Ajayi Obasa, àwọn ó máa ṣiṣẹ́ pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ka amúṣẹ́ṣe èyí tí gómìnà wa Babájídé Olúṣọlá Sanwó-Olú darí fún ìtẹ̀síwájú ohun ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ yìí. Wọ́n nítorí ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó àjùmọ̀ṣe gbogbo wa ni.
Thank you very much. That was a goodwill message from the Chairman House Committee on Housing, Lagos State House of Assembly. We now take another goodwill message from our host's chairman. That's the chairman of Igbobo-Bayeko Local Council Development Area. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please join me as I welcome Builder Olusegun Daini for his goodwill message.
Mr. Governor, Mr. Celebrant, the Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Olúṣọlá Adúrágbèmí Sanwó-Olú, the Deputy Governor, Dr. Obafemi Kadri-Hamzat, Member of the National Assembly are present, my own Senator, Senator Tokunbo Abiru. I especially greet my brother, my leader, my mentor, and my friend, Honorable Babajimi Adegoke Benson, the former Deputy Governor, Prince Abiodun Ogunleye, and my father, first Secretary to the State Government in Lagos State, Aṣíwájú Ọlọ́runfúnmi Reuben Basharu. I greet the immediate past House of Rep member in Ikorodu Federal Constituency and Chairman Diaspora Commission, Honorable Abike Dabiri Orewa. The House Committee Chairman on Housing, my senior colleague and a friend in the built environment, Town Planner Makinde. I greet the Kábíyèsí here, mo kí gbogbo orí ọba ládéládé tó wà níbí, mo súnmọ́ ọba níwọ̀n ẹgbẹ̀fà, mo jìnnà sọ́ba níwọ̀n ẹgbẹ̀je, arọ́ba fún lọ́ba ń pa, mo kí gbogbo yín látòrí bàbá mi àyànkùnrin Adébọ̀rúwà gbogbo, mo kí yín. Màá dẹ̀ fẹ́ kí bá Kábíyèsí ọ̀fìn bí tá a wà yìí, Múṣoró wà, bàbá mi Ọba Richard Ogunsanya Gbanadu, bàbá mi mo kí ọba ìmọ̀ta àdẹ̀dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yí pé ẹ̀bá orúkọ gbogbo jẹ́ mọ̀ta ẹ ṣé, torí mo mọ̀ pé mo tún kú oyè ní ọmọ onílé ńlá tó ń bẹ̀lẹ̀ lẹ́rù. Mo kí ẹgbẹ́ wa tó wà níbí, torí gbogbo àwa tá a wà ń bí a lè ní some people from other political party, because we run a government of inclusiveness. We're not running a government of one party. But we have the chairman-elect of our party here, the Onilegbale presently of Lagos, the great Pastor Jelabi, the Commissioner Housing, SA Housing, and all other protocol permit me to stand on it. And I greet all my colleagues, the 5 other chairmen in the Ikorodu division, from Adeshina to Agoro to Aluga. And I have Banjo, Adebisi, and the chairman of Ikorodu West. I greet you, my brother, Sulaiman. I don't have much to say today. What I'm asked to come and say is a good message. All I'll be saying is to thank the governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, for making our party proud. Mr. Governor, sir, I commend your efforts and standing by what you launched December 14, 2018. What Mr. Governor launched December 14, 2018 was a team agenda, and that was the premise on which we campaigned for his election. I want to thank you very much, Mr. Governor, for standing on your electoral promises. In 2018, when we embarked on the campaign, you promised to make our party proud. You promised to stand by what Lagos is known for. I want to thank you for holding on to that. And on behalf of the 6 chairmen in the Ikorodu division, sir, I want to appreciate you that we are major beneficiary of the team agenda. When we talk about the T that started, we're talking about transportation and traffic management. We have seen all you have done in this aspect. We thank you for what you are doing presently at the roundabout, improving our transport and traffic management. And we thank you what you have done equally on our waterways, which is on the traffic management. And when we talk about the H, which is health and environment, you have done so well in the health sector in improving the primary health care to a standard where we can boast of taking our children and our parents to not giving a major burden on the general hospitals. And when we talk about E, which is education and technology, you have done fantastically well also. We thank you for what you have done in our primary school, despite the fact that the major responsibility of the local government. You have supported us with more classrooms, benches. You have supported us with building materials. So we thank you very much. And when we talk about M, which is making Lagos 21st century economy, you have done fantastically well. In doing that, what you did before coming here, by commissioning the Ibile Oil and Gas, is part of making Lagos a 21st century economy. Even what we are presently commissioned are part of the 5 listed activities you did during the launching and the swearing in on May 29. You have said you are going to improve infrastructure, you will improve our housing. I want to tell you this, Mr. Governor. March 24th, 2021, you are in this local government, sir, to commission a 360 flats in Ikorodu, and today you are here to commission another 480. What you have done for me is to give me additional 840 residents in my community, to give me 840 landlords and 840 tenants. To me as a politician, sir, what I will promise you in return is I will turn them to electoral value to you. You can be rest assured that the electoral input of Ikorodu will increase by 840 times 4, because we expect minimum of 4 electoral value in a family. So I promise we will not regret doing this to us. And we thank you that all we requested for on March 24, 2021, you have granted. We now have Ikorodu Stadium undergoing construction. We now have our library undergoing construction. You have moved again to Ikorodu Igbe Road, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You have embarked on Ishawo Road again, and you have commissioned Itamaga Ijede Road. But we want to ask again that those that are calling for your attention, sir, we plead like Oliver Twist that we need you more. This place that we are presently will be very, very good for people when we have some other facilities around this area. I will get in touch with you on that. I want to again, on behalf of the residents of Igbogoba LCDA and Ikorodu Division at large, to thank you for all you are doing, and we promise to make you proud. Thank you, sir.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí àtẹ́wọ́ yẹn kó túbọ̀ rinlẹ̀ sí i. Ṣẹ́rí wọ́n ní ká bá sọ ọ̀bẹ sókè nígbàgbà, ibi pẹlẹbẹ náà la máa mú lélẹ̀. Inú ọ̀rọ̀ alága, wọ́n ní gómìnà, wọ́n mú ìlérí ṣẹ. Wọ́n ní ọdún 2018, ó ní àdéhùn tí wọ́n ṣe. Nígbà tí ìjọba yìí sì dórí àlééfà, wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí mú àdéhùn yìí ṣẹ. Ṣùgbọ́n àwọn náà wá fi nǹkan kan kún un. Wọ́n ló túkù nìbọn ń ró. Wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ìgbòkègbodò ọkọ̀, wọ́n náwọn lọ́wọ́ gómìnà ká sọ kálá. Wọ́n ní ti dojú omi, wọ́n láwọn náà rí i. Wọ́n ní ká sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ètò ìlera, wọ́n ní ká sọ bó ṣe rí, wọ́n ní gómìnà ń gbìyànjú. Wọ́n ní látàrí èyí, inú àwọn dùn pé gómìnà ń mú ìlérí ṣẹ. Wọ́n wá ní nílùú Ìkòròdú yìí o, ní gbogbo yìí o, àtìlẹ́yìn ó dúró wámúwám fún gómìnà látàrí àwọn nǹkan mèremère tí à ń ṣe yìí. Ìfilọ́lẹ̀ náà lè tá a fẹ́ ṣe lónìí, ìfilọ́lẹ̀ ilégbèé ní ìlú Ìbèṣè. Wọ́n dúpẹ́ gan lọ́wọ́ gómìnà, bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni wọ́n sì dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo aráàlú tí wọ́n ń ṣàkóso lórí lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Wọ́n kí gbogbo akáàbọ̀, wọ́n sì sọ̀rọ̀ lórí fún àǹfààní gbogbo olùgbé ìpínlẹ̀ yìí.
Thank you very much, Wale. We'll take another goodwill message, and this time around from our fathers. It is important that we hear from them, especially our host royal father. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to invite to the microphone His Royal Majesty, Oba Richard Abayomi Ogunsanya, the Olubeshe of Ibeshe. Can we put our hands together for His Royal Highness, please?
Kábíyèsí o, adé apẹ́ lórí, bàtà apẹ́ lẹ́sẹ̀, ìrùkẹ̀rẹ̀ á di ọ̀kìnní, àwọn olórí á máa ṣiṣẹ́ ìwé, ẹyẹ á máa ké bí ẹyẹ, eku á máa ké bí eku, ọmọ èèyàn á máa fọhùn bí èèyàn lábẹ́ ìṣàkóso yín. Àṣekábíyèsí fún orí adé bí wọn yóò ṣe bá wa sọ ọ̀rọ̀ báyìí.
Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Dr. Alvin Obafemi, the Civil Secretary, other State House of Assembly, Commissioners and Special Administrators of the once again, Commissioners and Special Advisors of the Governor to the Governor, City and member of all progressive PC. Body of permanent secretaries here present. Chairman of various local LCD present. Honorable of Ikorodu and the paramount ruler of Ikorodu division, Oba Engineer Campus Otobi. All the royal fathers and majesties present, all other protocol observed. It gives me pleasure to welcome and appreciate you all, especially the governor and his deputy, to the great length the former company of another housing scheme in Ibeshe, the Ikorodu division in Lagos State. We, the devotion, need to appreciate our able governor, Mr. Lagoshoms and his team, for promising well, fulfilled, and for initiating and completing all the abandoned projects, which Ibeshe is one of it. We know that to whom much is given, much is also expected. Therefore, on behalf of the entire Ibeshe Council and the community at large, we pledge to continue to do our needful to the best of our knowledge, and the dream to ensuring to be paying our taxes as actually due, which will help the state government to proceed on this laudable projects. Once again, we, the entire Ibeshe Kingdom, give our heartfelt appreciation to our dear governor, Mr. Lagoshoms and his deputy, Dr. Obamedi, and that for the pride of the housing scheme and same and some of the ongoing projects in which the community such as Lagos State Jetty, which will serve the a fare of all to Lagos, which 15 minutes through the waterways. From the housing estates, it's only 80. To help us complete that jetty, and for the interest of those who are going to live in this housing estate, we will get to their job and work as sadly within 30 minutes, they will be in Lagos.
Ẹ̀dá fún kábíyèsí ní àtọwọ́ tó rinlẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí aṣọ tí wọ́n gbé ilẹ̀ ní lọ́wọ́. Wọ́n ti sọ ọ̀rọ̀ nípa àwọn tó nílò àkíyèsí, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n fi ìmọ̀rírì hàn sí gómìnà wa sí iṣẹ́ takuntakun èyí tí wọ́n ń ṣe. Ó ṣetán, wọ́n ní yinni kẹ́ni ó lè ṣèlú èmi àti pé kí iṣẹ́ báyìí òun ló orí òun níṣẹ́ yá. Adúpẹ́bọ lọ́wọ́ kábíyèsí pẹ́pẹ́pẹ́pẹ́ bí pẹ́pẹ́ ti pẹ́ lórí àpèrè àwọn baba ńlá baba yẹn. Nígbà yìí ẹ jẹ́ kí ó.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me at this point in time to respect to the a man whose face is a man who has proved that Lagos is a center of excellence, or that is worth emulation. Ladies and gentlemen, Lagos State has so far been blessed and witnessed highly commendable project and initiative, all because of this man. The incident commander, a man with a God-given initiative, a man that has changed the face of Lagos, a man that has put smiles on the faces of Lagosians. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me as I invite to the microphone the Governor of the Center of Excellence, the State of Aquatic Splendor, Mr. Governor himself, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu. I believe it deserves a better round of applause. Let the applause keep coming. This is a man that has turned Lagos into a beautiful place. Man that has made a lot of projects and made life easy for Lagosians. He deserves our applause.
Thank you very much. Please be seated. Thank you. Press, should I remove my cap? Huh? It's okay. They are the owners. Mr. Deputy Governor, the Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Dr. Kadri Obafemi Hamzat, most distinguished Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator representing Lagos East Senatorial District, Senator Adetokunbo Abiru, Honorable Member of the Federal House of Representatives representing Ikorodu constituency, Honorable Jimmy Benson. I think they are both son of his, so they deserve a round of applause. That is the collaboration between the state and our representative in Abuja. They need to always be around when indeed we're handing over things to their constituents and to the people that they're also representing. So thank you very much for creating time and for representing us well at the red and the green chambers. The State Executive Council here present, especially the Honorable Commissioner for Housing, Honorable Moruf Akindero, and the Special Advisor, Honorable Mrs. Toke Benson. So I missed the Chairman House Committee on Housing. Pardon me, Honorable Rashid Makinde. Thank you very much, and best regards to all of our honorable members in the House, especially Mr. Speaker and other members of that great House. It was indeed an honor that we were with you yesterday, and you've handed over our budget to you. So please, we're looking forward to an expeditious passage of that 1.3 trillion budget. Thank you. Let's give our House of Assembly a big round of applause. As we clap, they will quickly pass that budget. The Chairman, Nigerian in Diaspora Commission, and a one-time House of Representative member in our right, Honorable Abike Dabiri Erua. Thank you very much, ma'am. Chairman of our various statutory commissions that are here present, body of permanent secretary, especially the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Housing, Mr. Wasiu Akeushola, chairman of our local government, Honorable Banjo Adeola, chairman Ikorodu North, Honorable Wasiu Adeshina, chairman Ikorodu local government, Honorable Wasiu Agoro, chairman Imota LCDA, Honorable Motunrayo Alugba, chairman Ijede LCDA, Honorable Lanre Sulaiman, Chairman Ikorodu West, Honorable Sheson Daini, Chairman Igogo Baiku. I think they all deserve a round of applause. Leaders, starting with the chairman of our great party, the APC, who is here with some members of his cabinet, our chairman of our party, Pastor Honorable Polenius Ojelabi, and members of his cabinet that are here. Thank you very much for coming to support us. Our Royal Majesties, starting with the Ayongunrin of Ikorodu himself, Oba Kabiru Shotubi, Kabiyesi, thank you very much. Royal Majesty, Oba Richard Abayomi Ogunsoya, the Olubeshe of Ibeshe. His Royal Majesty Oba Mudashiru Ajibade Bakare Agoro, Ranudu of Imota, His Royal Majesty Oba Semiuddin Kasali Adegboruwa of Igbogo, His Royal Majesty Oba Bashiru Aremu Shotonwa Sekumade of Ipakodo, all of our other title and traditional leaders, baales, and heads of our various clans that are here. I acknowledge each and every one of you. Thank you very, very, very much. Our own Commissioner of Police in Lagos State, CP Akim Odumosu, heads of government parastatals that are here, especially the Managing Director and management staff of LSDPC, is Honorable Ayodele Joseph, the GM and management of Lagos Homes. Thank you very much. Forgot to also mention our fathers that are members of the GAC Advisory Council that are here. His Excellency, former Deputy Governor, Prince Abiodun Ogunlewe, thank you very much, sir, for coming. And of course, Asiwaju Olorunfunmi Pashorun, thank you very, very much for coming. Other distinguished principal party members, Ashipa Kaoli Olusoya, thank you very much, sir, for coming. The former Managing Director of LSCPC, who I will talk about in a great while, Architect Adedoyin R. Yusuf, thank you very much for coming. Our contractors that have been part of this development, all of you here, I acknowledge each and every one of you individually and collectively. Please let's give them a round of applause. Thank you very much. I also can see a former head of service and a former permanent secretary who is also on the board of one of our institutions, Prince Adesegun Ogunlewe. Thank you very much, sir, for coming. Very many distinguished sons of the soil, Lagosians, Nigerians that are here, top government functionaries, heads of departments, heads of ministries, and various heads in our various offices. Thank you very much. You have turned out in large number. All of our party faithfuls that are here, market men and women, our CDA and CDC, they are also here in their regalia. I acknowledge you. The two people that have not been well acknowledged today, all of the skilled and unskilled laborers that have been part of this development, all of them are there that have worked tirelessly. All the workers that have worked for years on this site, I acknowledge each and every one of you. Thank you very much. I'm sure I've assured you that by the time we are starting phase 2, you just move over to phase 2. Finally, to acknowledge the gentlemen of the press. All of us are under one form of umbrella or canopy. It's only the gentlemen of the press that are doing their work under the hot sun. I want to acknowledge you. I want to thank you. I want to say to you that you are partners in progress, and please continue to cover all of the great works that we're doing in Lagos. Thank you very much. The journey towards a greater Lagos and the building of a 21st century economy continues in Ikorodu today, as we commission the Lagoshoms Ibeshe, a modern residential estate that is dedicated to the well-being of the good people of Lagos State. Earlier this afternoon, we commissioned and we handed over to our citizens in Ikorodu a 40 metric ton LPG cooking gas refill facility, also in Ikorodu here. This facility is meant to reduce the cost of domestic gas, and it is some area in which we have seen a lot of cry and hope of our citizens that the cost of gas, especially cooking gas, is up, and there's a need for government to intervene. And so I'm happy that we have commissioned and we have handed over 40 metric tons of refill facility in Ikorodu earlier today. These are part of the solutions to ensure and enhance housing and community living in all of our communities. Not only have we commissioned it in Ikorodu, we also had one that we have done in Alimosho, and we have committed to ensuring that in the next 1.5 years we can have about 20 of those facilities that will be built all around the state, so that cooking facility, cooking gas refill cooking gas for our sisters, our mothers, will be available. I think the government deserves a round of applause for that. And so again, our government in the last 2.5 years, we have remained committed to our promise to address the huge housing deficit in our state. It is important to note, however, that the challenge of housing deficit is not peculiar to Lagos State alone. Accommodation deficit is a challenge associated with all urban cities in the world over. The situation in Lagos is, however, challenging because of its mega city status and the limited area competing for various developmental purposes. We also see the massive migration of people from all over the Federation into Lagos, which certainly places a lot of pressure on available housing facility. And in order to cope with this trend, the state government regards it as a duty to keep building more homes to take care of the increasing housing needs of its residents. About 5 weeks ago, we commissioned an estate that was constructed through a joint venture arrangement in Lekki. Today, we're again here to deliver another set of 480 homes that is being provided through direct budget allocation. In utilizing these two strategies of partnership with the private sector and budgetary allocation, we have been able to deliver 13 major housing schemes all over the state within the last 2 years. We are still counting because as I speak to you, work is ongoing on a number of housing construction sites all over the state. Apart from the one being commissioned here today, 3 housing schemes are virtually ready and awaiting commissioning at Shongotedo in Aja area, at Oduonosa, Ayondelu, and in Agboa. It is also our expectation that by the time this administration is making a 3rd anniversary, a total of over 7,000 homes will have been delivered to its people. Within this location, there is also a joint venture housing scheme which is being constructed in collaboration with a private investor. There's just one of the partnership efforts of this administration. There are still other joint venture schemes at Ijorabadia, at Tolu Ajegunle, at Lekki, and in Aja, to mention but a few. By involving the private sector, the state is widening the home provision net and opening a door wider for more home ownership opportunity. The private sector involvement in housing development is vital as it facilitates the delivery of much higher number of housing units than what the government can on their own achieve using direct budgetary allocation. Under the Making Lagos a 21st Century Economy pillar, under the team's agenda, our administration is focusing on the build sector as a driving factor for economic development, also for social inclusion, and certainly for job creation. In deepening our activities in this sector, therefore, the economy of the state has been gradually and greatly revitalized, and this is because building homes is a capital-intensive capacity that positively affects every sector of the economy. Housing provision has also impacted positively on our social inclusion goals. For instance, the housing scheme completed by the administration are located in all parts of the state. A look at the location of the estates already completed will show that not only is the urban area, but also the suburban and the rural parts are being touched by our housing provision endeavors. And more importantly, all socio-economic groups from the high network to the low income bracket in the state have their interests served in the array of homes that have so far been delivered. And in terms of job creation, through the construction work in our various housing schemes, we believe that we'll be able to create about 17,000 direct jobs, given the engagements of consultants and our contractors and artisans at this estate. Other forms of indirect economic activity in form of food vendors and subcontractors at the various sites, transportation of work gangs and others, we believe that additional 15,000 have also been provided informally into this sector. In addition to these aforementioned values to the intrinsic joy of home ownership and to the advantages of building a decent ecosystem for family living, we feel that our focus on this sector is justified. I therefore pledge that we will continue in this manner by deepening our activities in home provision with a greater vigor in the coming months and years. In line with the resolve, we will be laying the foundation for the construction of phase 2 of this housing scheme here today. And so this phase 2 will yield a total of 192 additional flats with supporting infrastructure that will include network of road, drainage system, car park, electricity, and of course, water reticulation. What we are doing here in Ikorodu, we can increase it. Kabiyesi, what we're doing here in Ikorodu, we can increase it. And what do I mean? The Oba of Ipakodo, engineer Kabiyesi, engineer Shotonwa, you are aware that you have a piece of land just down the road there, which is called the Voice of Nigerian Land. Let us work together. Let us approach the federal government. This is an asset that is waiting to be tapped. If you sit with us and you work with us, that huge expanse of land can be turned into a living asset. We can develop additional housing estate. We can make it another new GRA for Ikorodu. We can do site and service into the place. And so we can indeed convert a sitting dormant asset into an asset that all of us will be truly, really proud of. We're waiting, we're ready to partner with you, Kabiyesi, lead with us and join us and see that we can indeed replicate what we have done here in other parts of the Ikorodu division. And why are we doing this? Our ultimate goal is to build homes within livable surroundings and to create a livable communities where our values are protected and are cherished. Houses are good, but homes are ultimate. In developing and completing these schemes, we are putting in mind the total well-being of our people. We want our families to be nurtured in good environments and our children brought up within good settings so that the legacy of excellence can continue into the future. In line with our inclusive policy and our commitment to welfare of our workers, I'm happy to also announce that we're developing a special housing package for our workers in the state. The working class in the state, we see them as our strength and the strength of our being. These are our strongest assets and they are the oil that lubricates the engine of prosperity in our state. The best we can do for them is to reciprocate their contribution to the Commonwealth and is to promote access and home ownership for them. And therefore, to this end, and very, very soon, we are at a very advanced stage of closing a transaction with private sector developer to build a total of 3,456 units of special workers' estate in the state. This scheme will be known as Imota Workers City. I don't know why everything is coming to Ikorodu, maybe because we are in Ikorodu here today. Kabiyesi Ikorodu, the Imota Workers City will be built on 20 hectares of land at Imota. The home unit will be accessed by workers in the public and private sector, especially the public sector in the state, on a convenient mortgage system spanning between 10 to 15 years with single unit interest rates. I think it's a double day for Ikorodu today. Not only are we done 2 big projects, all of my speech today is still speaking to further development in Ikorodu and Ikorodu environs. And I think we're indeed happy that it is your own turn today. Other parts of the city, other parts of the state will have theirs tomorrow. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, in closing, I want to implore all the prospective allottees of this new scheme to ensure that it is well maintained and it is kept in a good state. Kindly take good care of this facility so that this legacy can be an enduring one. For those who are still waiting for the home ownership opportunity, it will not be too long before your own dreams will become a reality. We're still working, and we believe that our sleeves are rolled up. We believe that with God helping us, we will touch everyone. We will not leave anyone behind, because the journey of the Greater Lagos is on course. The train on delivery of the Greater Lagos has taken off, and we will stop at nothing to ensure that all of our promises are kept. It is therefore my honor and a very rare privilege that I wish to rededicate the Ibeshe housing estate in memory of an outstanding legal luminary. He was a senior advocate of Nigeria. He was a one-time Baba Oba of Ibeshe land. He was a one-time Ashiwaju of Ikorodu. He was a one-time founding member of Ikorodu Development Association. Unfortunately, we lost this great Nigerian, this distinguished and outstanding Lagosian, this real son of the soil. We lost him about a year ago at a very, very young age of 89. I therefore wish to singularly have the honor and privilege to rename this place as B.O. Benson Housing Estate, to the glory of God and to the benefit of mankind. Thank you very much for listening. Ikorodu Oga, thank you.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí àtẹ́wọ́ yẹn kó túbọ̀ rinlẹ̀ dáadáa. Ẹ jẹ́ kí àtẹ́wọ́ yẹn kó rinlẹ̀ dáadáa fún gómìnà wa fún iṣẹ́ ribiribi èyí tí wọ́n ṣe fún iṣẹ́ ìdàgbàsókè ìlú. Kábẹ̀lú àǹfààní ìka kí gbogbo olùgbé Ìkòròdú àti gbogbo olùgbé ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó pé a kú oríire fún iṣẹ́ ìdàgbàsókè ìlú èyí tó ń lọ nílùú Èkó àti ní pàtàkì èyí tá à ń ṣe nílùú Ìkòròdú lónìí. Gómìnà sọ̀rọ̀ nípa sísọ ètò ọrọ̀ ajé ìpínlẹ̀ yìí kásọ̀bù èyí tó bá sọ̀mọ́ nìyí mu èyí tó làmìlaka tí wọ́n ń ṣiṣẹ́ lé lórí. Wọ́n ní lónìí ikọ̀ yìí wọ́n ti ṣe ìfilọ́lẹ̀ ojúkọ̀ afẹ́fẹ́ ìdáná. Gbogbo wa náà lámọ tí afẹ́fẹ́ ìdáná ń sọ lọ́jà, ṣùgbọ́n ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó wọ́n ní àfẹ́ ìnira fẹ́ni kankan látàrí èyí 40 metric ton ni wọ́n ti ṣe ìfilọ́lẹ̀ láti ṣe àǹfààní fún gbogbo olùgbé Ìkòròdú àti ìpínlẹ̀ yìí lápapọ̀. Ẹ bá wa fún gómìnà látẹ̀wọ́. Wọ́n ní gbogbo agbègbè tó wà ní ìlú Èkó yìí ni wọ́n ní lọ́kàn láti ṣe sí, wọ́n sì ti ń ṣe é. Wọ́n ní wọ́n ṣe irú ẹ̀ náà sí ìlú Àlímọ̀ṣọ́ kí ìnira kó lè bá di èyí tó di àfìsẹ́yìn tó gbé fi ṣọ ìyẹn ti afẹ́fẹ́ ìdáná. Wọ́n ní yàtọ̀ sí yẹn ẹgbẹ́ táwọn èyí ó wà fún oníkálukú ní ẹ̀ka ìgbésí ayé láti láǹfààní ṣe fún ìdàgbàsókè ìlú yìí. Wọ́n ní ti tààràtà iṣẹ́ yìí ó mà pèsè ilé kíkọ́ yìí ó pèsè iṣẹ́ nígbà tí wọ́n ṣírò ẹ̀ lẹ́yọ̀kan méjì mẹ́ta wọ́n ló pèsè iṣẹ́ fún 17,000 ènìyàn ní tààrà. Ẹ fún gómìnà látọwọ́ láì ṣe tààrà wọ́n ló tún pèsè iṣẹ́ fún 15,000 mẹ́ẹ̀. Ìyẹn ní bọ́lá tọ̀ sáwọn tó tiẹ̀ ń ṣiṣẹ́ ń bí àwọn tó ń wọ mọ́tò wá àwọn tó wá ń ta nǹkan àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ṣe rí pé ètò ọrọ̀ ajé ó gòkè àgbà sí i. Ìyẹn bẹ́ẹ̀ gómìnà wọn ní gbé yàtọ̀ sí yẹn àwọn wò pé bí tí nǹkan dé yìí pé n tó wà lẹ̀ ṣe é tá a bá fi orúkọ ilégbèé yìí tá a bá fi sọ orí ọmọ onílẹ̀ orí bàbá àgbàlagbà ẹni tó dá sí ìdàgbàsókè ìpínlẹ̀ yìí tí wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ ìdàgbàsókè ìlú Ìkòròdú tí wọ́n fi ara sìn bí ó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ pé ẹ pàdánù wọn lẹ́ni ọmọ ọdún 99 ṣùgbọ́n tó bẹ́ẹ̀ jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ àpàdánù ojú ni ṣùgbọ́n látàrí èyí gómìnà ni a ti fi orí ilégbèé yìí a ti fi sọrí bàbá wa B.O. Benson tí wọ́n jáde láyé. Ẹ bá mi fún wọn ní àtẹ́wọ́ látòní lọ orúkọ tá a máa pe ilégbèé òní àwàyé òní ilégbèé bàbá wa B.O. ẹ bá mi pè é Benson. Gómìnà ti fi àṣẹ sí wọ́n bá fi àkíyèsí wa sí nǹkan kan o ṣé níbi gbogbo kìíní ìṣeré rẹ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ yìí wọ́n ní ká ṣe nǹkan kan wọ́n ní ká bójútó gbogbo ìgbà ní gómìnà máa ń sọ ṣé orí dúkìá àlú bá a ti ń tọ́jú dúkìá ara wa wọ́n ní ká tọ́jú ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ kó lè tọ́jọ́ kó lè ṣàǹfààní káwọn míì náà kó lè di àǹfààní ìyá àwọn tó ń bọ̀ lẹ́yìn. Gómìnà ní ká bójútó dáadáa wọ́n wá sọ nǹkan kan ìdíkù míì wọ́n ní iṣẹ́ ìdàgbàsókè yóò mà tún lè jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Gómìnà wa níná gbogbo ẹ̀yìn kábíyèsí àti pẹ́ẹ́lí apẹ́lẹ́sẹ̀ láṣẹ Èdùmàrè pẹ́ẹ́pẹ́ẹ́pẹ́ lórí àpèrè àwọn bàbá yín. Gómìnà ní pẹ̀lú àjọpọ̀ yìí àwọn iṣẹ́ ìdàgbàsókè wọ́n mẹ́nu kàn àwọn agbègbè nípa kodé ìtamàgbà pé iṣẹ́ ìdàgbàsókè ìlú ó sì ṣeé ṣe ń bẹ̀ kí àti Ibeshe ìmọ̀ta ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wọ́n ní bẹ̀ ó sì ṣeé ṣe látàrí èyí wọ́n ní kẹjẹ kájọ fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ ká gbé ìpínlẹ̀ yìí ká gbé lọ sí ibi gíga gẹ́gẹ́ bí àfojúsùn tí ìjọba yìí ní wọ́n ní wá yàtọ̀ sí bí o láàrin ọjọ́ mélòó kan àtúnṣe ìfilọ́lẹ̀ àwọn ilégbèé báyìí sísọ òtẹ̀gbó odò ọ̀nọ́sà odò àgbọ̀ àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ yàtọ̀ sí àwọn ètí àtìṣe sẹ́yìn wọ́n wá sọ nǹkan kan o wọ́n ní rélùwé ọkọ̀ ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó ó ti ṣí kò dẹ̀ ní dúró láyé fáabàdà ẹ bá fún gómìnà látọwọ́ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí.
Thank you very much. Mr. Governor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to do a little readjustment to the lineup of activities that are coming up later today in order for us to have a smooth transition. At this point in time, before we go for the commissioning and the cutting of ribbon, and of course the inspection, I'd like to invite the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Housing, to move the vote of thanks. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as I invite Mr. Wasiu Adedamola Akeushola.
The Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Lagoshoms Ibeshe, the Deputy Governor, Dr. Kadri Obafemi Hamzat. Please let me stay on the existing protocol because of the time. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is with great appreciation to Almighty Allah, the giver of life, that I render the vote of thanks at this occasion. It is indeed an occasion of double joy as we deliver these 480 homes and begin the process for the construction of new ones. My preferred gratitude goes to the Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Olusola, for his notable support and huge investment in the housing sector. Sir, we appreciate you and we continue to thank you, your ever dynamic, for being the plug for housing development in Lagos State. In the same vein, I say a big thank you to the Deputy Governor for his support and commitment towards the actualization of the development goals in the sector. To our amiable and agile Commissioner, Honorable Moruf Akindele Fatai, we salute you and appreciate your relentless efforts and passion in ensuring that the housing goals are achieved. Also, my sincere appreciation is extended to the Chairman House Committee on Housing, Lagos State House of Assembly, Honorable Town Planner Rashid Makinde, and other members of the committee, our dear sister, the Special Advisor to the Governor on Housing, Mrs. Toke Benson Awoyinka, my colleagues in the body of Permanent Secretary, thank you very much. The local government and LCDA chairmen, traditional rulers, Kabiyesi, political and community and religious leaders, as well as other dignitaries from all walks of life, I thank you so much. Thanks for finding time to grace this occasion. This vote of thanks will, however, be incomplete without mentioning the entire management staff of Ministry of Housing and LSDPC for making today's event a huge success. I thank you all for being part of the commissioning and groundbreaking ceremony and wish everyone a safe journey back home. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Housing, Mr. Wasiu Adedamola Akeushola, having moved the vote of thanks, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we will be doing the commissioning and cutting of ribbon, and of course the inspection of housing estate led by the Special Advisor to the Governor on Housing, Mrs. Toke Benson Awoyinka. Permit me at this point in time, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to invite Mr. Governor, the Deputy Governor, and members of the top table, the front table, to accompany Mr. Governor to the cutting of the ribbon and the commissioning of the Ibeshe Housing Estate. This will be led by the Special Advisor to the Governor on Housing, Mrs. Toke Benson Awoyinka. All other dignitaries should remain seated, please. Only Mr. Governor, the Deputy Governor, members of the high table, front row, will be accompanying Mr. Governor to the cutting and the commissioning of the housing estate. We will do the unveiling first, and then the cutting of the ribbon, which will now be followed by the inspection of the housing estate.
The flag is unveiled by Mr. Governor, the mission of Lagos Road State. Project of Lagos Commission Housing provides by Lagos State Development
ẹ bá mi súnmẹ́yìn ẹ súnmẹ́yìn ẹ súnmẹ́yìn ẹ súnmẹ́yìn ẹ súnmẹ́yìn díẹ̀.
Yà fún un tán ó ní.
Ṣé online rẹ̀ lè wà bí digital analog ní?
Any key? The benefit of mankind, the glory of the Almighty God, thereby formally also dedicate and unveil up to date of the B.O. Benson Housing Estate Ibeshe, Lagos. Thank you very much.
Not you.